listen at podfeed.com/live. I want you to
It's
listen at on the video feed because
it's
where
that's
I'm
not
hearing.
that's coming up, and there'll be a delay, but I can give them the. It'll be up shortly.
Okay, it will be okay. So everybody's been listening on.
They had to because we had no audio. We had nothing being transmitted publicly
Right, right.
other than Discord.
Nice, Jason.
Okay.
Alan's gonna miss roll call. All right. Jill's here. All right, Jill, I'm going to try your idea of using a record button and a stop button. I'm going to see whether I can get used to that. I didn't put cute icons, though, so it probably won't work. It just says record and stop.
Well, it's still not going live, at
It's
least
not live.
where I thought it should be. Let me check.
All right, well, I'm going to do roll call while you work on that, Steve. We've got Kevin and Jason and Frank in Japan and Jill from the North Woods and John and Sandy and Michael Westbay from also from Japan, and Zoe brings bacon coming in from London. How exciting. Nope, no live on YouTube.
Well, it's streaming, but at a different site.
It's streaming, but at a different URL.
Different URL. I'll put the URL in for Google, and then I'll have to update Podfeed.
For Google? You mean for Discord?
Or
Okay.
YouTube, I'm sorry. So there's
Yeah,
YouTube.
so try that and let me know if you guys can hear. Well, Steve, I'm going to make you talk while you work on the other thing so that we can find out if they hear the cracking.
Okay. Well, I need to focus on getting it on Podfeed.
Yes, talk us through it. What do you do?
Well, first of all, hopefully I'm still logged in. Let's see here. Oh, good. I'm still logged in.
Okay, Jill says yes on YouTube. Yes, a lot of cracking. So they are all hearing it.
They're hearing the cracking on YouTube.
Yep.
Interesting.
So that's interesting. So I bought him a new interface, which you're going to hear about on the show from Marty Sobo. And I thought that would fix the problem, but he switched computers on me, so we're not sure. But it is a different interface, but on the different computer than he did last week. So, not quite sure. Much less lag than before. That's interesting. Would you rather us type here on YouTube or both? Definitely in Discord. We don't watch YouTube at all. Because I can't be watching, I can't be having that live feed while I'm recording. Okay, Jill says she doesn't see crackling, but you're saying no crackling even on YouTube?
Yeah, Jill, where are you? So when you make the statement, we need to know whether it's Discord audio or YouTube Podfeed audio.
Yeah.
And Podfeed is not live, but YouTube is. And I put the...
Wait, no cracking on my interface that doesn't answer our question. But yes, Steve has it on YouTube. Right.
On YouTube, okay.
Okay.
Why would that be on...
Well...
I'm wondering if it's StreamYard.
Maybe.
But I don't hear it from you.
Right. And we switched places and didn't get it.
All right.
Oh, you can turn chat off on YouTube. Maybe we'll put that on Steve's to-do list. I should probably start recording. What do you think?
I think so.
All right. Let me see. Okay. Preview. Here we go. All right, I need to mute. Where's Firefox? I need to mute it.
Well, I can mute myself.
Can I trust you?
Sure.
Oh, actually, Firefox is muted. I got to mute Discord.
Okay, podfeed.com is live now.
Okay.
All
right,
me.
I've muted you, Steve. I think I got to put you over here. I wonder if I could be a silent member of the StreamYard over on my iPad. Let's change something right now. hang on. I'm going to see whether I can go. What would be cool is if I could just watch from there. Let's see what it does. Actually, I could watch the YouTubes and turn the volume off. Yeah, Kevin says, I just heard a bit of static when Steve last talked in Discord. Oh, great. All right. Don't invite, if you see me come in again. Yeah. Okay. This is going to be iPad mini. So don't let iPad mini in. I mean, shoot. Hang on. Exactly. There we go. Now I can see what you're doing right in front of me. This is good. But why am I still hearing it? Okay. All right. I think I'm going to close the door here.
You're not hearing static, Sandy?
Okay. I have you muted in both places. We need Lindsay tonight. No, Lindsay has a pass because of the superb owl. I am still hearing.
Oh, that was me. I need to mute. Sorry.
No. I think I turned my volume all the way up on my iPad, not all the way down. That's good. And the battery's about to die because the battery's always about to die in the iPad mini. All right, this is going smoothly so far. Let's see. All right, plug that in. Yeah, I heard about a sports event too. I'm still hearing it. Hello? 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 Okay, I'm getting it into my own headphones. I'm hearing feedback. That's neat. All right. What do I not have muted?
Could it be your iPad mini picking up audio?
Talk again, Steve?
Could it be iPad mini picking up audio?
The iPad mini, the sound is 100 all the way down.
Okay.
And it's still playing audio. So I'm not going to use that solution. Not going to use that because I can't listen to that at the same time. All right. I just bought a friend of mine some curling socks. All right. Here we go. Let's just record. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeet.com, a technology geek podcast with an ever so slight Apple bias. Today is Sunday, February 13th, 2022, and this is show number 875. Well, before we get started, I wanted to acknowledge what you have probably noticed, and it's that podfeet.com is painfully slow lately. I'd love to tell you that I know what the root cause is and I'm fixing it, but I can't say that. I can't tell you what I've tried to do to fix it, though. I've looked at my hosting service to see if maybe I'm running out of RAM or maybe disk, whether my network traffic is saturating or possibly under a denial of service attack, but everything looks fine in that area. Now, another possible root cause is a misbehaving WordPress plugin. I went through a process of elimination, shutting off plugins, and it would seem to get better after one or another plugin was disabled, but then I'd leave it be for a while and things would get slow again. That's the other part. This is intermittent. Sometimes, like right now, it's horrible. Despite my best attempts at a controlled experiment with my plugins, I've been unable to figure out if any one or more plugins are at the root of the problem. Now, I was very suspicious of Jetpack, but it's actually made by the people who write WordPress, so it doesn't seem likely. It's a huge plugin with lots of capabilities, but the only thing I use it for is to let me write my blog posts in Markdown. I've tried 3 different alternative plugins to let me use Markdown, and every single one of them had some essentially catastrophic different problem. I'm not confident Jetpack is the problem. Right before I went on the air, I turned off Jetpack altogether and I tested, and I was getting like 29 seconds for a page load. Anyway, I talked to Bart about it a little bit, and he suggested that I move my database from the Droplet on DigitalOcean, where my website is hosted, to a managed database server also by DigitalOcean. I didn't even know that was a thing you could do, but Bart assured me that it's quite normal to separate the application from the database. We set up a play date, we went to work on it, but we ran into a real weird problem, and we have not been able to schedule time to get back to that. So I'm running another plugin, adding plugins, called Query Monitor, and it's saying that all of my plugins are okay. but it is showing that I'm a single page load of the WordPress interface is like 16 megabytes. I don't know if that's a leading indicator, but that seems like a really big number to me. Anyway, if you're frustrated by how slow it is, just imagine how agonizing it is for me to work with it all day long, where it's taking 40 seconds to load a single page. I do apologize to all of you for the inconvenience, but know that I'm fully aware and working really hard to figure out what's wrong. All right. Let's see. I need to figure out. Okay, I am going to have you be in charge of unmuting yourself because this takes me forever to do it this way. Hi, Steve. Okay, I'm not hearing you. Are you muted?
Yes. Did you do roll call?
I did.
Okay, I just missed it. I was doing so. Oh, I was probably trying to get you pod feet going.
Yeah. Did you get the live stuff going?
Yes.
Okay. Save and chapter marks. I think that's a grand idea. Let me save. That's weird. It's showing where I keep my files as being an external disk icon. That's not normal. It is cloud. Yes, we've been to Arizona. And we're going again. Speaking of Arizona, we're going to see Bodhi there. And we're about to talk about Bodhi. All right, so let me do my chapter mark. Okay, push a button. Okay, copy link. Okay, why didn't I hear the second one? Nope, didn't work. Okay, try this again. Come back over here and push a button. Okay, one, copy link, second beep, there we go. And it erased it.
No
probably because I put it in first. Okay, let me do this. I forgot it actually creates the bookmark. Quick. There we go. All right.
That was close.
I wish you could come to Virginia sometime. All right. Save and chapter mark. Okay. Here we go. Let me know if anybody sneaks in under the wire. All right. Record. Nope, it didn't do anything. Oh, I guess I have to have Hindenburg Live to do it. You've heard me talk often about how awesome Bodhi Grimm's electric vehicle podcast is. I've talked about it a whole bunch of times. And Steve and I have... Nope, it's easier for me to hit Command R. You probably remember hearing me talk about how awesome Bodhi Grimm's electric vehicle podcast, the Kilowatt Podcast, is a whole bunch of times. He's also been on Chit Chat Across the Pond to talk about fire and electric vehicles, and Steve and I both have been on the Kilowatt Podcast. But he just had an even better guest. He had Bart Bouchatz on his show. It's a fun episode because it's from an Irish point of view where charging electric vehicles and cars in general are very different from the U.S. perspective. Of course, Bart is brilliant and funny, and Bodhi is at his self-deprecating best, so it's a magic combo. Now, the easiest way to add... Jeez, come on, read what you wrote. Now, the easiest way to add the Kilowatt Podcast... Nope, same thing you said the first time, and it isn't the right one. Now, the easiest way is to add the Kilowatt Podcast to your podcatcher of choice to listen to Bart and Bodhi, but I've also included the link in the show notes directly to the February 4th episode of Kilowatt. Give it a listen and enjoy. Okay. And then this is going to be a chapter mark, but there's no blog. Oh, no, there is a blog post. Get rid of that one. Ah! All right, that's interesting. Undo doesn't get rid of a chapter mark. Okay. Grumpy. There we go. So this next link, Steve, is a link to the article that I'll be referencing. It's not an article I've written.
Gotcha.
No. Make sure that sounded okay. So it's a magic combo. Now, the easiest... There we go. A few weeks ago, you'll remember Kyle Sheridan came on the show to tell you about the $50 Sofa Baton U1 Universal Remote. As you may recall, the only thing he didn't like about the remote was that you had to be very precise about how you pointed towards your components, like your TV, receiver, or any streaming devices. Steve bought one, and he's noticed the same thing. Now, I told you after my conversation with Kyle that you may want to hang back for a bit before buying because Sofa Baton said on their website that they were coming out with a Wi-Fi version of the remote and they were calling it the Sofa Baton X1. On their website, it still says it would... Nope. Read what it says. Now, I told you after our conversation that you may want to hang back for a bit before buying because Sofa Baton said on their website that they were coming out with a Wi-Fi version of the remote called the Sofa Baton X1. And I wondered whether that might mean you could do more with home automation with that, and you might not have to be so precise in pointing the remote. It also looked cooler. I suggested waiting because their website said it was coming in January of 2022. Well, ever since then, I've been going to their site and searching Amazon for those last couple of weeks that we've been in February here, but it's still not out. I noticed a link to learn more on the Sofa Baton website, so I followed that link and it took me to the Kickstarter project for the X1. They have 5,769 backers who have pledged over $5.2 million. Now, if my cipher is correct, that's around $900 per backer. I sure hope it's not going to be a $1,000 device when it comes out. But more importantly, on that Kickstarter page, there's a blog post titled, not titled, but more importantly, there's a blog post on that site. Nope. What did I just say? I sure hope it's not going to be a $1,000. But more importantly, there's a blog post on the Kickstarter page dated January 29th. In that blog post, it says that the first batch of 2,000 remotes will be shipped to U.S. backers because they're all U.S. standard plugs, but they aren't expected to arrive in customers' hands till early March. Then they explain that the Chinese Spring Festival is approaching, so the workers will be on vacation. So the rest of the backers in the U.S. and in other countries won't see their remotes until early April. So these are people who put money out a long time ago. That means, in other words, if you want a universal remote before the middle of 2022, I've changed my advice to suggest maybe just scoop up one of the U1 Sofa Batons now, and when the X1 comes out, you can relegate that to another room in your house and buy the Can't get through a sentence without messing up. And when the X1 comes out, you can relegate it. Okay, no. That means if you want a universal remote before the middle of the year, I've changed my advice to suggest maybe you scoop up one of the U1 Sofa Batons now, and when and if the X1 comes out, you can relegate that U1 to another room in your house and buy the X1. All right. Oh, all right, I think I'll do the chapter mark here. But it's going to be me talking for a minute here. All right. You're about to hear a really interesting automation solution from Chris Nielsen using a tool called LaTeX. I asked him if he had used a script for his recording, and he said he hadn't, but that he'd write it up for us. He did something way better than I expected. What you're about to hear is kind of the big picture of the problem he solved and how he solved it with LaTeX. In the blog post, he didn't repeat what he said in the audio. Rather, he got into the nitty-gritty detail of how to use the tool LaTeX. If you read his blog post, you'll see some simple examples that would sound like goop if he had tried to describe them in audio. So if the solution he describes here in audio sounds interesting to you, I highly encourage you to go read the blog post to get the complimentary information. With that, let's hear from Chris. All right. Poor Chris has been waiting ages. Hi, dear.
So we have a someone joining us again after their first time. Payon.
Payon. What does that name mean? That's kind of fun.
Pay your own way? I'm not sure. And if Zoe is giving you bacon, you know you're welcome in the chat room because Zoe always brings bacon.
We hear how this section sounds. With that, let's hear from Chris.
G'day Castaways, it's Chris from New Zealand here. I wanted today to briefly
Chris from New Zealand. Listen to that voice. He's going to give Alistair a run for his money.
talk about a little project I've been working on. My job is a product photographer, and once a week I give my boss a report with what I've been doing and what my backlog is. And
Doesn't he give Alistair a run for his money there? I wonder if one of these...
It's close. I think Alistair still has a bit of an edge. He's got a little more of a radio voice.
I think he's got a better mic. I'm
Yeah,
listening.
maybe,
Sounds,
yeah.
Sounds a little echo or like room echo. I'm going to see whether
It's
this
still
plugin
a
helps.
great voice.
Actually, no. Try a different one. What would make room echo go away? Bandpass? Distortion?
Room echo?
Yeah,
Or-
he's got some room sound in his
If
I
it's
don't know
high
what-
end, then a bandpass might work,
bandpass.
or a low pass,
Let's hear if that changed.
getting rid of the
anything.
high end.
G'day Castaways, it's Chris from New Zealand.
Oh, that worked! Wow.
Well, if nothing else, I think that's at the wrong frequency.
Yes.
How about if I move it down here? Let's see. Okay, never mind. I think we'll get rid of those effects and just leave it be.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound that bad.
Talk about a little project I've been working on. My job is a product photographer, and once a week
All right. You don't get to listen to him because we've got too much to do here. Sorry. You want to listen to the whole thing?
Well, how much time do we have? Oh, 5:22. How
No,
many more do you have?
there are lots.
Okay.
And I'm doing a lot of reading.
Let's move on.
Actually, that says it's only 4 minutes long. All right. Yeah.
pretty happy with that. Thanks for listening. I hope it wasn't too boring, and see you around.
Well, Chris, that was not boring at all. I thought that was really cool. I've heard about LaTeX for a long time, but I've never seen it actually used. And again, reading the blog post and hearing your description was perfect. Okay, and we've got Marty up next, and I'm super excited about Marty. Actually, Steve, can you hold your interface up to your camera? Where did you go? There you are.
Hold on. Can I hold my interface? No, it's plugged in with a short cable, but I can hold this up.
Oh, you can hold up the box? Oh, that's exciting. Make your face big.
All right, hold on. Then you will see
Look at that.
the Elgato
It'd be so much more fun if you could show it to him. You sure it's too
Wave
short?
Xlr. Well, I could unplug it, but that's going to cause havoc.
Okay. Let's see. I'm going to put a chapter
Oh,
mark.
here's what I can do.
Oh, there. Duh. Move the camera. Payon, you edited Marty's audio before he sent it to us?
Oh, interesting.
Really? How do you... What, poof, top of my head just blew off. So you guys are friends. What's your real name, if you don't mind sharing it with us? Because his audio is fantastic. Oh, Michael Babcock. Oh, Steve, go back and show it again. Yeah, can you show how... Boy, that's dark.
It's dark, yeah. But here we go.
There you go. Ooh, that's good. Good video there. There you go. So it's got
kind of neat. So
you'll hear Marty describe it.
You press this center button, and down here in the lower left, there are 3 modes. The modes are mic, then headphones, and then monitor, where you turn this to have a mix of more monitor or more of the normal audio stream, or a
So
mix
by
of the
monitor,
two.
what he means is being able to hear his own headphones versus hearing me.
Right. So it's fairly compact.
Well,
XLR.
let's let Marty describe it here.
Yeah, good idea.
Especially since Michael caught it. Did you catch Michael's name there, Steve?
No, I missed it. Sorry.
Oh wait, hit the mute on the device. Show him what it looks like. Ooh, red lights.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's funny. Marty describes it, the colored lights, which I thought was fun since he's blind. So that makes it even more exciting. I don't remember if Marty introduces himself. Let me see.
Hi, my name is Marty, and today I'm going to be talking.
Yeah. Okay. I think we could just kick right into Marty here. Let me copy the link here. Okay. And let me move Marty back into position here. And hearing your description was perfect.
Hi, my name is Marty, and today I'm going to be talking about the Elgato Wave Xlr. This is a podcasting interface. I am blind, so the problem to be solved here is, for me, actually finding a podcasting interface that's simple to use and gets the job done without too much configuration or too much adjusting buttons and knobs, all of those good things. Most of the podcasting interfaces that are out there have lots of extra buttons, extra knobs, even if they're totally analog. And most of the digital interfaces are not accessible. So I came across this Elgato Wave Xlr, which turns out to be really great in many ways. First of all, it's really simple to use. So in shape, it's square, it's pretty small, and it sits at a wedge, which means it leans forward towards you. So the back is taller than the front, and so it's always facing you at a slant. Now, on the front, you have one large round knob, and this knob controls everything on the interface. It has volume for the output gain volume, it has the headphone volume, as well as phantom power, and you control everything from the one knob, and it's pretty simple to use. There's also lights that go around the knob, so when the lights are white, then you're not muted, and when the lights are red, you are muted. And muting is really simple. You just slide your fingers across the top on the back, and you mute and slide your fingers again, and you're unmuted. There's no specific button to push. It's just slide your fingers across the top, and it knows to either mute or unmute you. Super simple, really great. Now, on the back, you have one USB-C port, and this is great because you can plug it into a laptop. It'll boot right up. It takes up a small footprint, and you don't need to find any AC wall power. So that's great. Also, it has one XLR port on the back to plug in your microphone, and this is good and bad for some. It's really good for someone who needs a small footprint and they're doing only recording themselves. It wouldn't be great if you have a need for multiple microphones, as this, again, only has one XLR port on the back. And then you also have a headphone jack on the back as well. So again, if you are in a situation where you need something that's super portable and super easy to use, you can toss this in your bag. It's easily light enough to take it with you and plug it into a laptop with USB-C, and everything else plugs into the interface, and you're easily up and running. I looked on their website, and it goes for about $200 on Elgato's website. And I also looked on Amazon, and the price fluctuates a little bit by about $50. I've seen it anywhere for about $150, and that goes up to about $200, depending on where and when you buy it. So again, this is the Elgato Wave Xlr podcasting interface. super simple to use, a really great option for someone who doesn't need a lot of bells and whistles and just wants to easily get the job done, quick and dirty. And there you go. Thanks a lot.
All right, here we go. John can't read. Or he's slow. All right, let me say some stuff at the end.
Get the job done, quick and dirty. And there you go. Thanks a lot.
Well, thank you, Marty. This was fantastic. This is Marty's first contribution to the show, but I thought he did a spectacular job here. After I received his audio and his written review of the Elgato Wave Xlr, I immediately bought one. The problem I'm trying to solve is twofold. Steve's well-loved but very old Shure MVI XLR interface may be failing, maybe not, we're not sure, but we're getting some audio clicks on his voice during the live show. He can also see audio dropouts in the Mimo Live software on his end. I'd been crawling for the internets looking for a small, simple, single XLR input interface, and all of the ones I found were either too complex or they had the inputs coming out of the front of the device. I got to tell you, having a thick XLR cable coming straight out onto your keyboard is obviously a bad solution. Marty's review of the Wave Xlr came at the exact right time. There's also a reasonable chance that I'll replace my excessively complicated and fussy Universal Audio Apollo Solo Thunderbolt interface with a Wave Xlr of my own. I'll report back on how well the Wave Xlr works for both Steve and me, but in initial use, I can say that it's just as lovely as Marty described it. Simple and elegant. Also, don't be surprised if you don't hear from Marty from time to time. We've been cooking up some ideas in the background about some collaboration we might do, and I'm really looking forward to that. You have your XLR cable wound around your desk to keep it out of the way of your chair. Jeez, Michael. Hi, dear. I think you're muted. I
am. It's that Elgato Wave XLR.
Is it that giant red button
Yeah.
with the red lights in front of it
Right.
that you couldn't
I
notice?
missed those.
Oh, and look, I got a magic new beer.
Oh,
You might think I have giant hands, but I
you
have.
do. Hold on. We'll go big here.
That's you. There we go. I have a beer that's 7 ounces. So this is basically designed to make my family crazy since they're all into craft beers. I'm drinking a Coronita. It's 7 ounces.
What a cute little beer.
All right, Kevin thinks I should save. Let's see. Maybe at a chapter mark. All right. Let's see. Close out Marty. Well, whatever you did, Michael, in terms of editing, it sounded fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm worried if I talk to him one-on-one, is he going to sound terrible if you did a lot of editing?
Well done, Michael. And I did have Michael in our list of people who have joined the show.
In our magic decoder ring?
Magic decoder ring.
All right. I actually get to talk next. I'm going to do... this dumb question corner. Oh, buckle up. We got math coming, guys. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay. Does it look better with my giant face and that little bitty window, or would it be better if it was giant and I was little? I look really big in that to me. What do you guys like? Yes, there's math. Okay. That's awesome, dear. Just keep switching it.
I kind of like it that way.
I think it should be Steve and me and it, but he doesn't like to be watched when I'm recording.
No.
All right. I'll just start recording and ignore everything moving over in this window here. Oh, wait, I didn't do a chapter mark. Jeez. Wish Kevin had reminded me. Yeah, that's the one. Okay, let's see. Back over here. Don't knock over the beer. Press Michael. Copy link. Copy link. Now we're ready. Yeah, Kevin, try to stay on your game. Try to remember. Okay. Oh yeah, this is gonna be rough, guys. Here we go. Oh, I gotta use the dumb question music. I'd be really sad if I ever forget this. All right. Really looking forward to that. Okay, let me start recording here.
Dumb
Dumb
questions.
questions. Dumb questions.
How do I
What is?
How come I always have to?
It's time for Dumb Question Corner.
Well, this week's dumb question comes from my longtime friend, Mark. I've known Mark since I was in high school, so we go way back. He got solar for his house right around the same time as us and got an electric vehicle around the same time. He asked me this question. Hope y'all are doing well. Had a solar EV car question. Given how Edison works, is it better to charge my car at night when rates are low but no solar generation, or during the daytime when rates are up and yet max solar generation? Now, you would think there would be an easy and obvious answer to this question. I mean, he only gave me two choices. Steve and I are both engineers with advanced degrees, and we've been studying these facts behind the question and arguing our respective interpretations of the subject for at least 6 months. It's surprisingly complicated, and every time we think we understand it, the next time we look at it, our interpretations have changed. When Mark asked this question, we decided to write it all down, and then I would write an article about it so we can refer back to it every time we get confused and we start arguing about it again. The first thing to understand is something called net energy metering, or NEM, sometimes called simply net metering. Net energy metering is a billing mechanism that allows people who generate renewable energy to push energy into the grid when the sun is out or the wind is blowing, depending on what kind of energy they're creating, and then use energy from the grid when they're not generating. The way NEM is applied varies from state to state and country to country, if it's used at all. Some places don't use it. Everything I'm going to describe to you here only applies if you have NEM where you live. I can only talk about the way NEM works in California because I'm not studying every single country and state's rules, but the logic should be useful if you can find the rules for your locale. California is currently under NEM 2.0 with a proposal being worked on for NEM 3.0. But don't get me started on that because NEM 3.0, as it's currently proposed, is a dumpster fire and we really hope it doesn't happen. If you'd like to read all about the current version of NEM in California, I've included a link to the California Public Utilities Commission. While I'm going to use California-specific information, I think you could walk through the same logic and math if you live in another state or country that does use net energy metering. The first step is to determine how you get credit for the energy you generate. In California, our energy generation and usage are recorded every month, and at the end of 12 months, there's a true-up. If you generate more energy than you consume over the 12-month period, then the electric company actually pays you for the excess you generate, albeit at the market rate, which is currently running about 2 to 3 cents per kilowatt hour. It's chump change, but it's something. So the first and most simplistic answer to Mark's question is, if Mark generates more than he uses, it doesn't matter what time he charges his car because he never pays for it. Now, let's assume that Mark uses more energy over a 12-month period than he generates via his solar panels. The excess energy he uses will be charged out in a much more complicated methodology. It is ludicrously complicated, and it's why Steve and I have had so much fun debating this topic. When you go on NEM, when you get your renewable energy up and running, you are required in California to go on what's called a time of use billing plan. The concept behind time of use billing is to encourage the customer to move their energy usage from when the grid is under high demand to when it's under low demand. The best way to get customers to change their behavior is to give them financial incentives to do what you want them to do. If you know it costs more to run your dishwasher right after dinner than it does during the night, you're more likely to wait until the demand on the grid is lower. The grid is under the most demand in the evenings when most people come home from work, say around 5 to 8 p.m. So the time of use rates are much higher during that time period. I think this design is fantastic and it's completely logical. But like many things I was personally involved in, and in some cases responsible for in my own work, the desire to keep optimizing turns what starts as a good idea into a far too complex algorithm for normal humans to understand. Like Steve and me, Mark gets his electricity from Southern California Edison. Their version of time of use breaks the day up into 3 spans of time called super off-peak, mid-peak, and off-peak with 3 different rates. You'll notice I didn't ever say on-peak, but wait for it. That's just for the winter. In the summer, they only use 2 time spans. They're called on-peak and off-peak, except on weekends and holidays when the on-peak pricing times change to be called mid-peak, and it's a completely different rate. You see why this is so nuts and why Mark didn't immediately know the answer to his question? But don't lose hope. We can figure this out. The reason all of these rates are important is that if at the end of the year, you use more energy than you produce, the electric company tracks every kilowatt of energy you used by the time of day you used it throughout the year. This is recorded every month on your bill. When they do the 12-month true-up, if you've exceeded the energy you generated, they use this time of use billing to figure out how much to bill you. Now, I'm not going to read out all the numbers because that would be super boring, but I did create a numbers spreadsheet, and there's a screenshot of some of the things in the show notes, and I use conditional highlighting to show you what all of these rates look like. Armed with this vast array of options, let's be thankful Mark only asked for 2 timeframes. He asked for charging at night when rates are low, or charging during the daytime when rates are high, but he's generating energy. Mark asked the question in the winter. Turns out, in the middle of the night, Mark's energy costs 33 cents per kilowatt hour. But while he's generating energy, Mark's energy actually costs less at 29 cents per kilowatt hour. When Mark asked his question, I also thought energy was less expensive in the middle of the night than during the day when we were generating solar energy, but we were both wrong. We now know another version of the answer to Mark's question. If Mark consumes more than he generates, it's better for him to charge during the day when he's generating energy. I didn't want to stop there, though. If it costs less to charge while generating solar energy, how much does it actually save him? Mark drives a Hyundai Kona, which has a 64 kilowatt hour battery. The difference in cost between the off-peak and mid-peak rates is 4 cents per kilowatt hour. To fill his battery from 0 to 100%, which of course you would never do, it would save him $2.56 if he charged during the day than in the middle of the night. Now, let's put that in perspective. I went through $2.56 out of the window, but that's only a little more than half the cost of 1 gallon of regular gas in California right now. The rate is $4.68 for regular gasoline. So between the nighttime and daytime, the cost is half the price of 1 gallon of gas. I think that really highlights how inexpensive it is to charge an electric vehicle at home versus buying gas for an ICE car, doesn't it? So we have our second answer to Mark's question. Answer number 2 is if Mark consumes more than he generates, during the winter, it actually saves him money to charge his EV during the day, but it might not be enough to stress about. If he really needs to charge at night, he should just charge at night. Perhaps Mark is also curious, though, about how the math works out in the summer. It turns out that in a comical stroke of genius, the committee that designed the Southern California Edison's time of use billing decided to make the rate from 8 p.m. all the way through the day to 5 p.m. the same rate. So in the summer, it's almost always 30 cents per kilowatt hour, except during the 5 to 8 p.m. time. So that gives us our third answer. If Mark consumes more than he generates during the summer, it doesn't matter whether he charges during the day or late at night. It's the exact same cost. Did I tell you this was complicated? So there is a time of day Mark definitely does not want to charge his car, and that's between 5 and 8 p.m. During the winter, that 5 to 8 p.m. rate is 72% more than the daytime rate. And during the summer, the 5 p.m. rate skyrockets to more than double the daytime rate. This was perhaps the biggest shock of this study for me. In the winter, Mark would spend over $13 more to charge between 8 and 5 p.m. Okay, that's backwards, 5 and 8 p.m. I'm going to take a screenshot of that and then log into my super slow website and fix it later. I read it just like it said it. Maybe I'll save. In the winter, Mark would spend over $13 more to charge between 5 and 8 p.m. And in the summer, it would cost him a whopping $26 more. So answer number 4 is, whatever you do, Mark, do not charge your car between 5 and 8 p.m., especially in the summer, if you consume more power than you generate. So I know this is off topic from Mark's original question, but when I compared the extra cost of charging during the night versus the day to the price of a gallon of gas, it got me wondering whether I could calculate from all of this data how much Mark saves by driving an EV instead of an internal combustion engine car. We call them ICE cars. We're in luck because Mark just happens to have purchased a rare car, because the Hyundai Kona comes in both an EV version and a gas version. In an article from Motor Trend, I was able to find the range of the two vehicles. I was also able to determine that the gas version uses regular unleaded fuel, which is the cheapest possible gas. While the EV Kona has a respectable 258-mile range on a 64 kilowatt-hour battery, the gas version has a very long range of 396 miles on a 13.2-gallon tank. Using the current regular gas price in the state of California that I talked about earlier, $4.68 per gallon according to AAA, filling the gas car will cost $62. But we can't really use that because that could go 396 miles, not 258. So we have to prorate that total cost down to the smaller 258 miles of range. I included all the math in the show notes, but when the math is said and done, Mark is saving $22 every time he fills his car with electrons instead of dead dinosaurs. The bottom line is that it's better for Mark to charge his car during the day when he's generating solar energy than at any other time of the day. In the best case, if he's generating more energy than he's consuming, it doesn't cost him anything at all, no matter when he charges. If he consumes more than he generates, then he definitely wants to avoid charging his car between 5 and 8 p.m. I hope this process of analysis can help others to run their own math. I'm sure your rates are different, so your times of use are different, and you may not have time of use at all, and don't even get me started on how to size a battery to go with your solar. Whew. I'm tired. Anybody have fun with that one?
And by the way, we have 2 times of use periods. Another is 4 to 9.
Yeah, I thought about
Just to
throwing that
complicate
in.
things.
I almost threw that in, and I kept trying to find the right place but I figured it's bad enough as it is, right?
Yeah. Oh, no, it's definitely, I think you got the idea across.
Thank you, Kevin. Wait, what did Jill say? Oh, ouch, no thanks to. Uh-oh.
I think she doesn't like time of use.
Oh. Your power plan?
Yeah, she doesn't like the way SCE charges us.
Oh, I like it. I really like it because we're using the grid as a battery.
Well, also, because we're retired, we use a lot of energy during the day as opposed to right after work hours where the peak rates are. So it's better for us, I think, from that aspect. I mean, we still have to use between 5 to 8, but we can minimize that.
People would die here? Oh, if you couldn't have power from 5 to 8? Well, but you still got stuff you could change, right? You could heat the house up before 5 o'clock, and then let it start cooling down, and then change it. I don't know. I don't think it's terrible. Oh, Michael uses more at home because he's been working from home. Yeah, a lot of people are, right?
Yeah.
All right, let me do a quick support the show. If you really enjoy the NosillaCast, Chit Chat Across the Pond, and Programming by Stealth, and get value out of what you learn here, or maybe you just get entertained, have you ever thought about maybe throwing a few dollars into the Podfeet podcast coffers, maybe using PayPal? You could go to podfeet.com/PayPal because you know it, everything good starts with podfeet.com. And when you're at PayPal, you could just type in any old number you like and send it my way. It's not cheap to run the show, and every person who donates a bit of money helps to keep the microphones on. Actually, maybe I should have said it helps to keep the microphones live. Or hot? On is fine.
Hot is good.
Okay.
I don't know if maybe listening to the review of the Wave Xlr, I realize you don't tap the button, you just kind of swipe over the top. You don't actually have to know where it is.
Yeah, you
To
haven't
mute.
heard Marty's review, but he says just kind of stroke your finger across the top.
You played long enough that I heard that. So
Oh, you did? Oh,
yeah,
okay, good.
That was cool. I actually learned something. Ellen made it, by the way.
Alan, how are you? I took care of roll call without your help. It was a struggle. We missed you. All right. We are now going to listen to Jill for a little bit. How much time
Cool.
have we got? Maybe 5 minutes here. Stream Deck.
Wait a minute.
now.
Did I see Jill's? I don't think I saw this.
I told you it was no.
Oh, it's not a blog post. Got it.
Okay, so Jill would be right here. That's her recording of her. And if I get rid of my record, actually, wait, you guys have to hear the beginning of this. You'll love it. Get ready. Listen, Steve, pay attention. Here you go. Here it comes.
Plink. I'm not as cute as Bart is. Plink.
Love it. Nice. Well done, Jill.
Okay.
Was that for me?
I've saved my favorites. Well, export selection.
Oh boy.
Okay. Let me use this. No, I'm going to put on the desktop for now. Jill Plink. And close.
Might have to replay that.
Yeah. I got to save it, though. I've got a whole list of people doing Plink. I mean, Forbes will always be my favorite, but...
Yeah, he's got the best Plink.
Desktop. Jill Plink. And then I got to move it down in here. Yeah. You want to hear her again?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, here you go.
Plink. I'm not as cute as Bart is. Plink.
No, I think you are, Jill.
I think that was hilarious. Dang it.
Super fan. Nice.
Oh, come on. There we go. All right. Let's see how this sounds. The microphone's on. One of my favorite articles I ever wrote was called Sleep Tracking is Stupid. My more favorite article, though, was the rebuttal article by Jill from the North Woods called Sleep Tracking Isn't Stupid. Last week I told you all about the Stream Deck, and when I got to choosing which Stream Deck you might need, I said that I couldn't see how the 6-button Stream Deck would work for anyone. Guess who has a 6-button Stream Deck? Welcome to the show, Jill.
Hi. I like to be contrary.
You really do. You're the arbitrary person, but you do it so nicely. I enjoy the heck out of it. So that's fine. So you actually were more into the Stream Deck, I think, than you kind of helped me. Jill, it looks like your audio is shorter than mine. Let's see. Mine is 1338 and yours is 559. Yeah, you didn't give me your full thing, so now I gotta back up. Somehow it got cut off. Let's see. I can fix this. No, it would take too long to mess with now. I've got your audio. I record both sides. It was really sort of a what I like to do is have people record themselves so that we get the best possible audio, but
Are you actually removing the Plink?
I don't ever catch the Plink. Does that make any sense?
Yeah. Well, you catch it. You just choose to edit it out.
There we go. No. I don't catch it on my recording. They only catch it on theirs. Because after they hit it, they say Plink, and that's how I know to start recording.
Got it.
If you ever walk the Plink, Allison is shorter than me. All right, let's see. Donates a bit of money, helps to keep the microphones on. Okay, I gotta cut that a little bit. I knew it would do that. It's annoying. Okay, let me cut all of this into there. Okay. X. I get confused between the tools that I use, what the keystrokes are, and things act differently. Okay, one more time. Keep the microphones on. One of my favorite articles I ever wrote was called... Okay. Where were we? We were probably about here.
That's correct. Well, it started with so many people
helped me get into it and inspired me to one of the 48 people who inspired me to get it going. Maybe you can talk about what you did, because you actually have 2 Stream Decks and now you've bought a 3rd device from them.
That's correct. Well, it started with so many people in my life.
I heard to click on my recording. Talk about what you did, because you actually have 2 Stream Decks and now you've bought a 3rd device from them. No, it's gone.
That's correct. Well, it started with so many people in my life also telling me how wonderful it is and how I would really enjoy it. And every time I looked at it, I could not feel like there was a use case for me. I couldn't imagine what it would do. I didn't know what it would help me with. And it went on sale around Christmas time, according to your Slack group. And
Just heard a click again. Let me hear that again.
on sale around Christmas time, according to your Slack group. And I thought, well, let's just give it a shot and see what it could do. And the problem I was trying to solve primarily had to do with podcast recording. I wanted to have a hard button that would allow me to start and stop recording without keyboard commands, without me moving my mouse and starting recording and then stopping it. I felt like my brain was being taken up by command strokes, and I just wanted to focus on recording. So initially I bought
So you were thinking it's easier to take your hands off the keyboard and reach over to the Stream Deck and push a button than hit the space bar or Command R for recording?
as long as I found good icons that represented exactly what it was doing. Yes, I think that I have
Interesting.
my finger always on the button for stop and start recording.
Oh, okay. Right. Because when you're recording, your hands aren't really on the keyboard, are they? No, duh. That was stupid. Okay.
Right. So I ordered the regular size Stream Deck, which is the middle version of it.
Okay.
And
It's
I
15,
liked
15 buttons, I think.
Yeah, 15 buttons. And I liked it a lot. But what I was doing was bringing it upstairs and downstairs because I have another computer downstairs where I actually do the editing for my podcast. And I thought, this is not usable.
Let me interject here. So Jill, Steve complains all the time that I try to make my computer setup and my audio setup and my video setup as complicated as possible. I'm standing at the feet of the master of making things complicated. So you're not only using an upstairs and downstairs computer to do your audio recordings for your fabulous podcast, you are also using a Mac and Windows.
I am using a Mac and Windows, that's correct. Because I'm getting into learning Mac, but I know Windows very well. And the location that my Windows machine is in is much nicer, much more comfortable.
But the audio recording is better. Why am I hearing cracking? And then I replay it and it's not there.
Well, and the location that my Windows machine is in is
oh no, that did drop out.
Is much nicer, much more comfortable.
Skype or Zoom. But the audio recording is better up where your Mac is, right?
That's right. It has good sound acoustics, and then I can set the microphone and all the equipment up on a desk.
Okay. So you record up on your Mac upstairs and you're editing downstairs on your Windows machine, but you were dragging your... Sorry to keep doing this, but I'm still trying to diagnose this. Okay. So you record up on your Mac upstairs and you're editing downstairs on your Windows machine, but you were dragging... Okay. I don't think it's there. All right. I've got to run to the end here. Frank, so nice to see you, hear you, watch you type. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's really good to see you back in the chat room.
Yeah, no, Jill, I think it sounds pretty good. It's fine. I gotta keep moving.
I didn't hear
this all night.
I didn't hear the crackling.
I'm just hearing slight pops every once in a while, and then when I replay it, it's not there. So I don't think it's on the it's not on the original recording. It's probably something to do with Stream Deck.
I think it is.
Yeah, maybe if you were on a modern computer. All right, let's hear the end here. Thanks for coming on. This was fun.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Okay. All right. You can tell that I really love talking to Jill. Any subject she wants to talk about, man, I am all over it. If I forget if I mentioned it when we were talking, but you can listen to Jill on her own podcast, Start with Small Steps, at smallstepspod.com, or look for it in your podcatcher of choice. Well, that's going to wind us up for this week. Did you know you can email me whenever you want at allison@podfeed.com. I love to hear suggestions, unless it's about how slow my website is, unless it's how to fix how slow my website is. That would be a good one. If you have any questions, send them on over, send them dumb questions, whatever you got. You can also follow me on Twitter at Podfeed. If you want to join in the wait, did I say? I ad-libbed and I forget if I said how to email me. I forget if I mentioned it when we were talking, but you can listen to Jill. It's going to wind us up for this week whenever you want at allison@podfeed.com. I did. Okay. If you want to join in the conversation. Let's see. Where are we? If you want to join in on the conversation between other NosillaCastaways, you can join our Slack community at podfeed.com/Slack. It is so much fun there. You can talk to me, the other lovely NosillaCastaways. You can even talk to Bart. Remember, everything good starts with podfeed.com. You can support the show at podfeed.com/Patreon, or as I mentioned, with a one-time donation at podfeed.com/PayPal. And if you want to join in the fun of the live show, like Michael Babcock did for the second time, dagnabbit. I was so proud of my ad. Or as I mentioned, with a one-time donation at podfeed.com/PayPal. And if you want to join the fun of the live show, which is a hootin' good time, head on over. No. And if you want to join in the fun of the live show like Michael Babcock did for the second time, he'd been gone for a long time, head on over to podfeed.com/live on Sunday nights at 5 p.m. Pacific time and join the friendly and enthusiastic NosillaCastaways. Thanks for listening and stay subscribed. Helen, what? You are so weird. You distracted me. That's why I screwed up the ending there. Why did you put that in? I got to know. Why did you put roll call at 6 o'clock? We're going to have to give you a keeper. Somebody who is in charge of trying to figure out what you're doing. Where's the outro music? There it is. Okay, chapter marks. I'm not it. Chill. Oh my gosh. Also so fast. How did you do that? Sorry, I guess Jason's it, right? Oh my God, you slave. Okay, that was the funniest thing I've heard all day. Oh, that was wonderful. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chapter marks.
I'm totally lost.
You have no idea.
Hold on.
Okay, call out what you can see.
So 1, 2,
That's not calling out.
3, 4. Oh, you want me to name them?
No, whatever you want, dear.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You probably
I
chapter
did one
mark
for
Jill. So
and
6.
I did support the show.
7.
Yay, 7.
And there were no other blog posts that didn't, or no other entries that didn't have blog posts.
Well,
Other
whether they
than
had
Jill.
a blog post or not, they had they have a
I should say URL tags.
URLs, yeah. So Al, you have put a 9 o'clock for Allison roll call. That's probably you mean a reminder, but what time zone are you in?
Yeah. If you're in Eastern, that would be 6, and that is not the right time for roll call. It's 5 p.m. Pacific.
Eastern time.
So that would be 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, you want 8, not 9. That's
Plus,
why
you've been
it's
in the
wrong.
show. I mean, you know the show's been going on, right? You don't do roll call at the end of the show. I mean, there's context.
You baffle me. You baffle me.
Oh, all right.
That's what I think. All right. Is everybody enjoying watching how gorgeous the weather it is here on Super Bowl Sunday? Actually, I'm gonna get a takedown notice. Superb Owl Sunday.
Yes, watch it, Al. That's trademarked. Up to the hilt.
You're fired. Shh, exactly. All right. Well, it is 6:03. It's been lovely seeing all of you from all over the globe, and so happy to see Frank back. That makes me feel good. We never got Rose, did we? She's a big old American football fan. She was probably watching the game. Anyway, I'm gonna blow her a kiss anyway. Goodbye, Rose. All right, Steve. Wait. Tesla cam.
Tesla says we're out of here.
All right. Knock it off, Steve.
Good night.